So, Hype Club. So, I've said to Kez for ages to come on, and every single time you're like, no, I'm too nervous. I'm too shy. No, you, pure gab, I'm in it.
Under all these lights, no chance. My heat's too shiny.
You're not shiny. You're polished. So, Kez, we've known, did you not get it? That's very funny. We've known each other for years and years. And you started your business. Well, it was a few years ago now. You started that. It's not even
2 years.
2 years. 2 years this May.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna have a party?
I think I should, shouldn't
I think you should.
Any excuse for a party.
Any excuse for a party.
Even if it's just dinner.
And maybe like your house will be done by then, so we can have a party.
Oh, I don't know about that. We've only just finished the loft, and that started 2 years ago.
So, Kez, you have Stellar. Oh, hold on, I wrote it down. Mobile valeting and detailing.
Correct.
I know, because I keep calling it Stellar. I forgot about the rest. I have to write it down. For cars, and we were just laughing before we started there about how I have no fucking idea. Right, let's talk about the tar thing again, because that was just happening there. But I feel like people need to know this, because I didn't.
So your car picks up all the soft tar off the road, and it gets sprayed up all over the sides of the car. You'll see all the wee black dots, and if it's no black anymore, it'll now be wee brown dots that you'll see over white cars. I need like a tar and glue remover to go in and take all that off.
So it doesn't just come off with water? No.
Well, it's this tar thing, how sticky tar is and how thick it is. And it then stains all the paint as well.
Does it?
So there's a couple of processes with it where you put like tar and glue remover on it, and then I'll do like a fallout remover, which is to remove all the iron particles that come off brake pads and all that kind of stuff. And then there's also a clay bar method that you'll use. It's just ball of clay, really. It's the sticky stuff that you'll rub across the paintwork. And then that gives you that glass feeling on the paint, takes away all the contaminants.
Aye.
But after that, you need to then do a machine polish on it, because the actual clay bar itself, because it's abrasive, does leave tiny wee scratches all over the paint. So a lot of work to it.
I know. By the way, you think you're just getting your car washed, but there's hundreds to it. It's mental.
Well, obviously that's more into the detail side of things. That isn't just a wash.
Aye, that's just your casual wash.
Aye.
That's more. But I wouldn't even think about that. Like, I just go, just a bit of soap, that's plenty. But there's hundreds, because there's tar on it. But so my car, I went and got a car wash. I know. Disappointing. They scratched all my car.
I'm not surprised.
And do you know why?
I'm not going to ask you to name and shame them, right? Because we all know what happens at these car washes.
They just pick the sponge off the ground and just, it's so bad.
You know, all the time.
So I need you.
But you feel kind of bad for these guys, because they are run off their feet. They're trying to do 150 cars in a day.
Aye.
Probably getting paid pennies.
Yeah.
What do they care? They're just trying to get through as much as they can, as quickly as they can.
It's just rattling it out.
Off you go.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Yeah, it's fucked. So now I'm kind of thinking, so see when it's my PCP car gets sent back, I'll just make sure it's dirty, then they won't know.
Nope. Doesn't work like that. I just had a guy a couple of weeks ago that was taking his PCP car back. Wanted us to come over and give it a polish and stuff to try and take away some of the light scratches. There was a few light scratches, but there was quite a few like really big ones.
Oh shit.
This is the first time I dealt with a car that was going back through PCP, because when I done my own car, I just took it. We buy any car, I didn't even give it back to the PCP. So the next day when he took it back, I messaged him. I says, "How did you get on?" He says, "Through a fine tooth comb." He says they had a wee machine out and they were going round every panel and you're testing everything out and like, there's money off for this, there's money off for that, and I thought, they really, they tell you it needs to be washed before it comes. If it's raining, because I'd say hopefully it's raining, and if it's wet, then it covers all your scratches and stuff. No, they'll go around with a towel and dry it all off and all that just to make sure. It says, plus when they take it back, they'll see all this stuff later on anyway, and before they've even give you your money or whatever the deal is. You've got to be careful with the PCP ones, because they will scrutinise you for the slightest wee scratch.
Because it's a black motor. You see things. I know.
How long you got left on it?
A year.
Well, you've got a year.
Got a year if you get all the scratches out.
So that's the problem when you're going to these, the drive-through, the car washes, or getting in to the stuff do it yourself with a big brush, or your local, £3.50 car wash. That's where you're picking up all the, what they call swirl marks. You ever seen it? If there's a way the light hits it a certain way, it looks like spider's webs all over the paintwork.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your swirl marks, and that's usually down to a bad wash process.
Yeah.
Which is why the likes when you get somebody like me out, it's a long process because you're doing all the pre-washing before you've even touched it, which is what they call the safe wash.
Mm-hmm.
So before you've even made contact with the car, you've already got rid of most of the dirt and grime, and then all you're left with is like all the kind of oils and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where all your shampoo and stuff is there to help break all that down.
There's so much to
And
it.
then you recoat it again with a wee spray wax or something, or a hand wax.
So what's a wax?
A wax is just it's a coating that you'll put on, kind of like, talked to you before about the ceramic coatings and stuff.
That's
the
on
difference is with that.
my list, because you had a post about somebody's not been applied correctly.
Aye, that's another big problem. People
Yeah.
go and buying a new car, whether it's brand new or second hand, but they go to a dealership and they buy a car, and the dealership will say for an extra, in that case it was £250, and we'll apply this coating for you. But quite often it's no done right, because same with the dealerships, they're trying to get through 20 cars in a day, so they'll say to all their valeters, right, you've got all these cars to do, and those 3 over there have got ceramic coatings put on them as well. But it takes all day to do that, because you've got to go through the decontamination process. You've got to then do your clay bar, then you've got to machine polish, and you're doing all that just to make sure that the ceramic coating's got a good chance to actually bond. Otherwise, it's not going to last as long as what it should. So, you'll find with these dealerships, they'll either not apply it correctly because they've not got the time to go through all that. They're just chucking it on after a wash, possibly even on top of whatever waxes have already all built up on the paint. Or, which turns out in that case, hadn't even been applied at all.
So how can you tell it's not been applied?
You can tell by the way, what they call the water behaviour on it. So the way the water hits the panel, you'll see it, they call it beading, and the water just all beads up and kind of basically just sheets off the car. Whereas if it just lays on the paint and takes forever to run off, you know there's no any protection on it.
What?
There's also like a touch test. Like I'll take a really soft microfiber cloth, and if you run that across the panel, it'll feel really slidey
Yeah.
because it's smooth as glass.
Yeah.
If it's dead grabby, then it's probably no end on it.
And does that like fade away over time, like with
Aye.
rain and that?
Aye. You'll get like a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, up to like a 7 year coating. For me, I can only do up to the 3 year because I'm mobile and I'm out in the elements. You've not got get temperature control. And the less durability ones, the 1 and 2 year, they don't take 48 hours to cure before you can do anything with it or get it wet. So they're the ones that I work with. I'll eventually get on to the kind of more longer lasting ones.
Aye.
When I've either got a unit or if I've got enough clients that maybe they've got a garage, that if I can use their garage to do it in, and they promise they're not going to use their car for 2 days, then I'll maybe be able to move on to the harder coats.
Oh my God, you can't use your car for 2 days after it gets coating.
Well, some of them are away for a whole week.
People,
By the time you're getting all your paint correction and all that done, and then the coating applied, and then whatever else you're maybe getting within that, like your wheels done, your glass.
like,
They're actually putting coatings on leather seats now.
are they?
Ceramic coatings on leather seats. I don't see the point to that myself.
No,
But,
not much point. But people take their cars pure seriously. Like,
oh, aye.
like I was
You
talking
should.
about this. I know you should. I was talking about this. Obviously, it's your job, and like, there's clearly a market for it. People care about their cars. I just don't give a fuck about my car. But it's a problem because it's PCP and it's going to go back, and then I'm going to get fined. So I need to.
Think about it this way, right? It's the second biggest investment you'll have in your life. Whether you buy a house and you buy a motor at, I don't know, 14 to 35, 50 grand. Why not look after it?
You're right. I need to be.
I mean, we do all that. We'll take it for its service and its MOT and all that, but we'll just let it rot with all the road salt all through the winter and just let all the rainwater just soak into it.
Oh, I need you. Can you book me in? Because I'm not kidding. I think I've
You've
lost my
got my
car
number.
once in about a year.
Eh?
Yeah. I know. So how did you get into? So it's been 2 years since you launched the business.
Yep.
How did this come about? Like, was it, I know, but tell me again. Tell the world.
I had my own car wash 20 years ago. Can't believe it's been 20 years. I've had multiple jobs since then. I was working in the Royal Mail. Here in Renfrew, actually.
Oh, there we go. Back to your stomping ground.
Aye. And just the way things were going with the Royal Mail, and there was constant strikes, and things were changing, the business was changing. And I thought, I'm not happy here anymore. I love my job, I love being a postman, but I'm not here, I'm not happy here. What am I going to do? Because they were talking about, because I was in a newer contract, we'll have you working Sundays as well as Saturdays, and I just thought, I'm done. I've had enough. Like every job I've had to work weekends. Aye. You've got the family at home and the dog, and constantly trying to work round about things. So I thought, I need to get out of here. I really need to get something where I don't have to work the weekends. And if I do, it's through choice. So it would need to be something self-employed. What the hell can I do? I think, well, I love being a postman because I just love being out in the community. I love seeing different faces every day. Like, I'm a bit of a gab. So it just, one day it just came. Don't know how, why. I just thought, valeting, I'll go back to doing the valeting. Everybody does it mobile these days. That keeps me out in the community, seeing different faces every day, getting a wee gab. So like, that's it. That's what I'm doing. So I went home and I said to Shona, I think this is what I'm going to go and do. And she was, go for it. Because she'd already seen how well I could clean her motor. And that was a task in itself. This is how they've actually coined the phrase "momobile" for any cars that I come across that are like, you know, they've got 3 young kids and a dog, and all the sweeties are stuck in the carpet and the dog hair's stuck in the sweeties. But there's no judgment because that's exactly how Shona's car was, obviously, when the kids were younger and that. And I'd be out every weekend in it, mountain biking with my pals. So I'd be in there, 3 bikes, covered in muck. Us, we all were mucky gear. And just to go off her head because there'd be tyre marks on the roof lining as well. So if I dared to moan about, you know, the one shoe that was left under the seat, or all the multiple Costa coffee cups and the Wayne's sweeties and stuff, I would just get the, what about you and your biking and your pals? So that was always lovingly called the momobile. So now, anytime we get a car that's needing a deep clean, as they say, it's a momobile. Do
you get a lot of momobiles?
Oh, aye. Lots of them. You're surprised the amount of people that don't clean their car for 3 years and then they go, just get a mobile valeter out to do it. Yeah. And they wonder why you're out there for 3 years. Oh, that's just interior I've done.
Shit, man. Do you see like a kind of like the momobile side where it's just like pure bogging mess, and then like the other side where it's like the actual detailing? Like there are 2 different kind of demographics.
Oh, aye, big time. But don't tell anybody, right?
No,
but I actually quite enjoy doing the momobiles just because you've got the transformation. As much as it's great to go out and clean a car that's no very dirty because it's no back braking, you don't get the satisfaction of standing back and going, look at that.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And you don't get the wow factor for people. Although you do get different types of customers. You've got the ones that will phone you up and they'll say, you need to get out here as soon as you can, the motor's absolutely bogging, and you go out and you think, just needs a quick hoover, and there's not really much wrong with it. It's a clean car to me. Then you get the ones that say to you, because you'll always ask them what kind of conditions it's in so that you know how long it's going to take you to do it before you can book your next job in and all that. It's not that bad. And that's the ones with the sweeties stuck in the carpet and crayons melted into the centre console and hair everywhere. And you think, no, that bad. Jesus Christ, what would you have said if it was any worse? Or what is your version of bad? So I try and always get photographs off of people, but then they take really crap photographs and you get out there and you think, your photographs didn't do this any justice at all. You don't want to be saying to folk, right, I want you to go out and take a video of your motor, I want to see you in every wee nook and cranny. Just doesn't work like that, you know. So
how can you like then know how long you're going to take? Cause, like,
you don't.
I
mean, I've got a minimum. Like most of my valets will take like 2.5 hours because I'm literally going into every wee nook and cranny. I've got the toothpicks out and all the wee dental swabs and all that, getting right into everything. And that, like, your differences between just going out and getting a quick valet to having a detailer come out, it's the tools and stuff that you're using as well. Like, a valet will come out and they'll give it a hoover. But I'll come out and I've got my wee massage gun, and I've got your mats upside down and, you know, vibrating all the sand out of them, or you've got a drill brush and you're flying hair and get it everywhere. You're having to hold your breath and squint your eyes while you're doing it. And,
Some
so
sight.
there's a lot to it.
Aye, so that is the difference between valeting and detailing.
Pretty much as you're literally getting into every detail.
Clean the pedals and all that.
Why?
That's hilarious.
Well, that would explain why my back's
That is
breaking
explaining
these
why
days. I
your
thought being a
back's breaking.
postman was going to kill me.
No, get into the ring.
Because when I first got back into it, and I thought, you're just remembering back to when you were 21
Aye.
and you had your own car wash and you were valeting, and but I was 21 and you had staff as well. It wasn't just all down to you. I'm a one-man band now, and I'm 43. I'm 44 this week, actually.
Oh yeah.
No, Saturday. It's not getting any easier.
No, like it must be actually. Do you know what? See, when you come to doors, I'll be pissed myself. You pure crawling over like in the detail. You must feel like you're on some weird angles, like trying to get things.
I mean, especially somebody my size as well. And you get motors with great big massive boots, and you just see my feet dangling at the end of it, because I'm in there trying to get right into every wee corner. A lot of time, like, because you've already done the hoover, now you're coming in to do the windows and the dash and all that kind of stuff. You're sitting like side saddle, but you're over here to clean. So that's not doing my posture and all that any good either.
No, it's not.
So I really need to go and see your pal Emma.
I know.
I'll get round there
You'll
eventually.
get around it eventually. That's hilarious.
Or I'm at the point I'm just a cripple.
She'll be like, I can't help you. Get out.
I'll just stick needles or something.
Fix. Last time we spoke, you talked about you remember getting into like the kind of dents and scratchy side of things. Is that something you're still doing? And you get time?
It's really early to even consider that right now. Because right now I'm still just getting into the whole detailing side of things. I mean, I'm professional, but I'm not a master. I mean, I've only just done my course. Every day's a learning day.
That is.
I'm still learning, even by my mistakes. You know?
Aye.
Even just when it comes down to, like, you know, trying to price things, or how long is this going to take me, or there's so much to it. In fact, today I was trying to set up a online booking system.
Oh, good.
Because I know the last time we were talking about the business, you were saying you need to start taking deposits and all that kind of stuff. So this online booking system pretty much does everything for me.
Good.
And it acts like a website as well, so I don't need to worry about starting a website or that either.
Amazing.
So that'll take a lot of the work off of me. Because it doesn't just finish when you come home after you've finished cleaning cars. You've got to fill your tank, refill all your bottles, wash your cloths, dry them, answer any questions, do your social media, you know yourself. How much of your time it takes up. So
being a business,
so anything that can just give me a wee bit of that time back will be
the online booking system would be class to at least start getting things. I think people don't think about that. They'll I'll just like answer messaging, but you know, fuck's sake. And you try to manage your diary, like fuck's sake. At least you could just block it off and you're like, cool, it's fill up. See you later. Fill cancellation and all that. Stunning.
Ideal. Well, hopefully, aye.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to go. So tell me also about how you came up with the name.
Well, that was because of my wee dog, Stella.
Wee Stella?
Wee Stella. But I couldn't call it Stella because, as I said, folk would think some wee woman Stella was going to be showing up to clean their motor. So I was like, Stellar. Oh, that's quite good. It's close to Stella and you're getting a stellar job. So, aye, we'll go with Stella. We've got a family group chat and had been posting all these, like, what will I call the business? This. And nobody was picking anything. I was picking the rock, coming up with their own stuff. I'm like, nah, right. I'm just going with my choice, which was Stella.
Stella.
So, aye, she's my wee mascot.
She's your mascot.
Although she doesn't fit in my van, so
no,
I can't take her anywhere. I need a bigger van.
You need a bigger van. She can sit in the front seat with you. You can go to your jobs.
Ideally.
That'd be hilarious.
I would be in heaven if I could take her to work with me every day. She's just my wee shadow.
I wish I could take King to work with me, but he would probably cause havoc. I brought King in here, the new cuts would batter me probably. If you were running around.
It'd be up on that table.
He'd be
Are
on
you
that
kidding?
table, we'd be kicking the mic. Maybe get the entertainment though. I don't know.
Probably Stella should be lying in my arms right now. No able to move.
Okay, so with the it's not just washing, it's detailing and valeting, which is like a whole different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen like any kind of jobs where you're like, oh, I can't do this. This is wild because it's like such a mess or such a like.
No, nothing I would say I can't do. There's the odd job where I think, can I face this today? Because I know
Really?
this is going to take me forever, especially if it's a roasting hot day. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's just so much to get done, but you just got to get your head down.
Get your head done.
Batter through it.
So when somebody's like, you've been to them and you've like done the job to a stellar standard, do you give them like advice afterwards to keep it going? Like how, like what tips would you give somebody to be like, right, keep your motor in good condition?
Phone me once a month.
That's the answer. Oh, because you get the monthly maintenance.
Keep top it.
You get the monthly
How you
maintenance.
going to keep top it? Keep getting it done.
Aye. So you do like the sort of deep one, and then the monthly maintenance is just keeping top of
But
it.
what I'll do is like when my first visit with you, the minimum I'll do for you is what I call a mini detail, which you're getting pretty much everything done apart from a hand polish and a wax and your seats and carpet shampooed. Otherwise, everything's done. I mean, I'll clean your mats. Like I'll be doing there with a plumbing all-purpose cleaner and scrubbing them and hoovering them and brushing them and leaving you all the wee carpet lines. Oh, that's another detailer's thing. Sorry, what was the question? Just went away with that then.
So like what
but
advice?
keep top it. Sorry, so they'll do the mini detail, and then once that's been done, because everything has been done, you can move on to my monthly maintenance package. So long as you're booked in within the last 6 weeks at least, then you get it at a discounted price because you're now I'm out maintaining it.
Mm-hmm. Do you not have to do the big deep again?
Exactly.
Like why? What's the kind of, how do I word this? Because obviously we would, like me, I just go and get my car washed at the car wash, right? Loads of people just do that, right? I know.
I'm
That's the point, right? I know. But like, how do you change the narrative to go, right, actually, this is shit? Like, let's go to Kes.
That's a hard one, really, because you're either the type of person that cares about the car and you want it being looked after really well, or you're no.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy just to go down to the local car wash and have them scratch it up.
I know. Do you know what I actually said to when I was there? Before I knew it was all scratched, obviously. So I just drove away and didn't know. So, like, my car's got the wee bar hangs.
The roof bars.
Like, no ends on the roof, they're pointless. And I was like, I literally opened the door, I was like, excuse me, can you like, make sure you do it under them? Because last time we didn't, like 2 years ago.
You scratched your motor on purpose, didn't he?
I think he might have. And he was like, yeah. And then he never. And he scratched my motor.
Well, there you go. That says it all.
That's the narrative we need to change. Don't go to the car wash that costs you £3.50 because it's a fucking mess.
Exactly.
And my car's all scratched.
Aye. I mean, I'll spend like 45 minutes just cleaning your wheels and tyres.
Wow.
I haven't even touched the car yet.
You take so much care.
I've a lot of pride in my work.
Mm-hmm.
I love what I do.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I'd say I'm a perfectionist, but I'm no like in every other aspect in life.
Aye.
I'm very much that'll do, right, come on, let's just go on with it.
Aye.
But with this, obviously because it's my own business as well, so you want to have people wanting you to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, I love that transformation, being able to say, look how good this looks.
I know.
And go, I did that.
Yeah.
You know?
That was me.
That was me. By myself, by the way.
45 minutes on the tires.
So there's a lot of pride in what I do, and I absolutely love my job.
Oh, that's so good.
You know, the only times, this is the first job I've ever had, and as I say, I've had many, and I loved being a postman. This is the first job I've ever had where every day I just get up and get ready and go to work, and I'm the odd day where I'm like, can't be arsed going out the other day because it's pouring a rain and it's howling a wind, and it does make the job really hard. That's the only times that I'm I'm not quite happy. Just go skipping out the door like, right, see you later, guys. I'm away to work.
I know.
Just stick my earphones in. Either get my music on all day or my podcasts.
You've not got a Sunday night fear anymore. You've not got like a Sunday night fear going to your work the next day. No.
No.
And I think that's
absolutely love it.
I feel like loads of people that are self-employed feel like that, but it's the weirdest thing because then the stress levels are like through the roof on the other side of things. I was talking to somebody yesterday and it's like the opposite. So like if you're in a job 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you're getting paid your wage at the end of the month, you've got your sick pay, your whatever pay, your like your everything's cushy, pension, everything's great, stunning. But your cons are you might not get a pay rise, you might hate it, you might
not
have
get the holiday you're trying to get on because somebody else has
got it, or like
you've got to work the weekends.
Yeah, that's negatives. Whereas it's like flipped when you're self-employed. So like your negatives are the employed person's positives. Like you're not getting your pension, you're not getting the sick pay. You're like you might not get your wage at the end of the month, but your positives are you're flexible. You can work when you want.
Aye.
You can work weekends or you cannot work weekends. You get to choose, and you can essentially earn what you want at some point. If you get busy enough, you can charge what the fuck you want.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'll get to that point.
But like
that's the problem. You're always trying to. You've got competitors out there, obviously. But that's when I first started the business. That was the biggest mistake I made. Was all I did was look at who was round about me, what were they charging. I wasn't working out what your daily running costs would be. But then how do you do that before you've started? Because you don't know how much stuff you're going to be using. You're finding new products and all that kind of stuff, which I'm still doing just now, 2 years down the line, constantly finding new product. Does this work better? What's the cost of that? So the biggest mistake I made was just looking at round about me what they were charging. Right, well, I'll charge the same. And then finding out a year and a half in that I've not made any money. I'm actually in debt and I had to make some big changes.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I went to do that detailing course and was explaining to the guys, like, this has been a year and a half and this is what I've been doing and how these guys still charging this money. Or these guys are saying they're doing all of this stuff in like an hour and a half. It takes me 2.5 hours minimum.
Aye.
And he says to me, explain your process, everything you're doing. Told him like cleaning the pedals. I'm in doing it. He went, you're detailing. You're charging valeting prices. I'm right, okay. He says, so either you make drastic changes just now. He says, or this time next year you're going to be a business. I thought, right, well, I need to make this work because there's been so much poured into it already. I mean, the equipment alone, I'm not even buying the expensive equipment. And it's costing you thousands. I mean, just for your, like the pressure washer that I want to get, it's like 750 quid. For the machine polisher that I want to get, is like £500-600.
Aye.
So I've not even managed to build myself up to that yet.
Yeah.
Because the first year and a half has been so drastic, to be honest. I wasn't even earning minimum wage.
And it's mad that you don't think about that. You don't think about like, because it's your time, products, because you think, oh, I'm getting like whatever, 50 quid, whatever, right? But actually no, because like all these other things add up, fuel costs getting there.
Exactly.
Because you're all over the whole of Glasgow, you can go anywhere. So all of that, like, you don't think about it, and then actually when you break it all down, you're like, fuck, I'm earning 10 pence a day. Brilliant.
Aye.
But you, it's not something you're thinking of because like there is money coming in, but it's going straight back out again.
Can you explain that to people because they're just thinking to themselves, £50 valet, that's a lot of money. It's not really. It's 2.5, 3 hours worth of work. I'll get like the best of products. I'm not using any of the cheap stuff.
Yep.
Which is what you'll get at the car washes and that. They'll use like the harshest chemicals to just throw in your car and get as much stripped off as possible before they do anything. And that's also causing a lot of damage to your car as well. You've got all the chemical burns in any chrome trim that you've got or any plastics.
So how can you tell, like, what's the telltale signs that it's been burnt or it's damaged? You'll see
it a mile away. It's not a nice shiny chrome anymore. It's got this, almost looks like it's textured or like it's cloudy. And that's just chemical burns that are all over your chrome.
And is there any way to like save it? No.
Once it's burnt, it's burnt.
Oh no.
Unfortunately. There's some stuff, like if it is an actual chrome, you can sometimes polish it out, but this tends to be plastics. There's no really anything you can do, unfortunately. It's either paint them or replace them.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely don't want to be taking your 50 grand motor down to
No.
the wee local car wash that's throwing all these harsh chemicals. Everything I use is what they call non-caustic. So that it's safe on like your ceramic coatings and stuff. Does they break all that down? It's safe on all your plastics and your trim. I don't use acid on your alloy wheels or anything either. Acid's like a last resort. If you really can't budge something, then they'll use a wee bit of acid, but everything I use is the soft approach.
Do you know, you think that like the likes like Arnold Clark or like the dealers and whatever, they should be like educating people? Do they? Or have I just no listened? I just don't remember them
Absolutely
telling me anything about this.
Absolutely not. In fact, that was one thing Shona was saying. I was saying her car broke down at New Year, timing belt went, and she was saying to me and my dad, I mean, what do you do about that? And we said, well, nothing. Like, your timing belt should be changed every so many thousand miles. Well, nobody's ever told me this, and I've been driving how many years? She went, there's something we should be saying to these car dealerships. By the way, see when you're selling a motor, especially if it's to a woman, don't mean to be sexist or anything like that, but that tends to be, you know, they're not that interested in it. So unless somebody tells you, you've got any idea that should have been done.
Because they
and
don't
I was
tell
like,
you?
well, I didn't even think to tell you because I just thought, well, everybody knows
Aye.
what the upkeep of your car is.
Aye.
So that was a sorry.
Timing belts are bastard.
But so they don't even tell you
No.
how to look after the engine. Never mind. Oh, by the way, you maybe want to keep it clean.
But that's what you're now doing on your social media, now that you're a social media star.
Hardly.
Trying your best.
Take 25. Aye.
You're
I
doing
mean, that
great.
first one where James called me out to actually get me to go and do it and start doing it after us talking about it. That was like 3 or 4 takes. I was shaking like a leaf the whole time I was doing it. The first time I did it, I forgot you and James's names. It was like my pals. Oh, the hell! Jesus Christ. So that took a few goes.
But you looked so calm in it. Your pure text me like, oh, it was pure rattling. I was like, no, you weren't.
Aye, 3 or 4 goes later, I was getting a wee bit calmer.
I was like, had enough, get this over with.
Just spit it out, just get it done. I've got a job to do here.
Busy.
That's the other problem. I've not got somebody standing there doing all the videoing for me.
I know.
Need you to come out one day.
Well, you can do my more, I'll film you.
That's a good idea.
There you go. Service swap. So, but they do need to be teaching you about the service. And then you said to me, I still got my next question if you've got any other tips like this. So, like, in my motor, there was like the condensation of that, and you're like, oh, there must be like a gap somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
it's
it
a
must
sure
just
sign that
be-
there's water getting in somewhere because that's why there's moisture inside the car in the first place.
So, where would that be?
It could be anywhere, honestly. There could be a seal away around your window or around the door. It could be coming in at your tail light, but it's soaking the front footwell of the car, the carpet, because of the way that it travels down and just the first exit it finds. So that's where obviously the water will lie. So a leak can sometimes be a nightmare to find where it's actually coming from. You need to start stripping everything back and rubbers and right, we'll try that, we'll try this, and eventually you'll plug it up. But moisture in your windows is a telltale sign.
Oh,
something's wet.
Aye.
The first thing I say is feel your carpets, right? If you've got a
Yeah.
wet bit of carpet, then you know there's
You know
definitely
it's there.
something getting in there.
Oh, it's probably a window or something. But it's a pure new car.
Could be in.
Arnold Clark, shite.
Saying nothing.
Aye. I don't care. So is there any other like wee things that you see like that are like easy wee tips to tell people? Because I didn't know that about the water. And that's dead common, I think, condensation.
It is, aye. It is. Especially during the winter when it freezes up and you're having to scrape the inside of your window as well as the outside. That's another wee tip for your when it is winter. See when you're getting your. Did you see my video the other week there showing you what the sealing your windows? Basically like a ceramic coating on your glass.
Right.
Is when it does freeze, you don't get that really thick ice on it where you've got to go out and scrape it all. It's a really thin layer of ice that turn your heaters on and away it goes.
So you can
Stops it
ceramic
freezing as
coat
much.
glass as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
But the stuff I use, what I'm talking about, isn't even a ceramic coating. It's just It's kind of like people years ago used to use like Rain-X and stuff. It's kind of like that. But it helps. It's just another wee Brucey bonus to using it. Not only does it repel all the water when it's raining, that you hardly need to use your window wipers. That when it freezes over, it's not quite as harsh a frost either.
So,
Pretty
like,
cool.
with all the services that you offer, the ceramic coating is in like your top package type thing.
Aye.
And like, is it something that you highly recommend? Obviously, you're not really like a sales guy. You're never gonna like pure push like, oh, I think you should get this. But like,
Aye.
from you doing that as a job, like for those people, everybody's got a motor. Like, what would you say? Like, it's
I
recommended.
highly recommend it, but I don't push it on people. If you want it, I'll do it for you. But it really does have benefits. It's just longer lasting than putting a wax on it because it's a hard coat. And the thing where the way ceramic coating works, it's kind of like it's like wee nano hairs. Right? If you could picture all these wee tiny wee hairs all over the paintwork, and that's what's protecting it. If you're not looking after it, because even if you've got the ceramic coating and folks say, oh, well, it's dead easy to wash after it's been ceramic coated, you still have to keep on top of the washing, otherwise the ceramic coating will just get all clogged up with salt in the road and all that kind of stuff. So those wee hairs will flatten, and now the water doesn't behave the way it should be with your ceramic coating on it. So there is aftercare that you need to be making sure you're doing as well. So you still need the proper wash process. It's not right, go and stick a 5-year ceramic coating on that and then just start taking it back down to the local £3.50 car wash. So you just need to look after it.
It's like people like me go to the car wash because it's just like
Convenient.
driving past, fucking brilliant. It's bogging, get it washed. Like literally for years, my dad's like, "What do you mean you do that?" Because my dad would never take his car to a car
He's
wash.
a wise man,
And
your dad.
he always says they pick the sponges off the ground. They've got stones in them. I'm like, oh, no, they don't, Dad. Oh, they
And
do.
you stop with
They
your own
do.
eyes.
They do. I saw it with my own eyes. I was devastated. Devastated. But now it's dark again. I can't see, so it's fine. It's okay.
That's the problem if it's not been washed in a while and then suddenly you clean it and you're like, by the way, did you know I say I hate doing that, right? But I do all the time. Like, do you know there's a scratch here? Do you know there's a scratch around there? What? Did they see that before? Well, it was all clogged up with dirt.
Oh, but once you've did all your practicing with your scratch and dent repairs, that's a huge business opportunity because so many people have scratches on their motors.
Really?
And you can just come
I
in
mean,
and
already went into that was part of my detailing course was scratch removal. But I'm wanting to do a lot more practice with it basically before I start offering it as a service. Because the last thing you want to do is end up making something worse rather than better. I'm in the business of making them better, no making them worse.
Fix them up. Real
So
nice.
lucky for me, my dad owns a scrapyard, so I can just go and get an old bonnet and take it up the road and scratch the shit out of it and then try and fix it.
So how would it actually? What is the process of that though?
Well, the rule of thumb is, right, see if you can like wet a scratch and it disappears, it's probably going to polish out. But if you run your nail across it and your nail catches, it's going to be a wee bit harder, so you're maybe going to need to sand it out. So you either get wet or dry sanding. So you'll sand it back. And what you're doing is when there's a scratch, the reason you see the scratch so harshly is because of the way the light shines off of the sharp edges. So say it's like this, right? And then there's your bonnet and there's this scratch. So on that sharp edge, the light shines off of there. So when you're sanding that and you're softening that and kind of buffing it out, really, the light doesn't shine off it the same way. And then once you polish it, you're just kind of blending it all in and making it all nice and shiny again.
How do you like get? So I've got a black car scratch. How do you make it black? With the polishing?
Well, it's not actually the paint; it's the clear coat.
Right.
Like so, what we used to call lacquer. I think clear coat's an American term now. So it's that they'll paint it and then they'll put this clear lacquer over the top of it, and that's what you're actually working with when you're polishing a car. If you polish your car too much, you'll have no clear coat left, and that's when you end up with all the damage. And there's no protection on the car at all, never mind having a ceramic coating or anything like that. So you've got to watch, because you see a lot of guys who are they love looking after their own car, and they'd be out there polishing it once a month, and you're cutting through all your clear coat. Your clear coat is as thick as a fag paper, so that's
Really.
how much you've got to play with. So if you overdo it, you're just going to burn through the clear coat and make a mess.
And so once you've did the scratching and getting it buffed up, then would you put the ceramic coating on to protect the lacquer?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just that final barrier to just give you a wee bit extra added protection. So that stops all the elements getting to your paint, especially if you do have a wee scratch. That's now going to let all the water or the salt in under the paintwork, eat away at the metal. That's why here in the UK we've got rotten motors. It's just all rust buckets.
Like rust, aye.
Aye, so you can protect the underside of the car as well. Not something I do at the moment, because to be doing all that, it really needs to be somewhere where a unit where your car's on a ramp and they can take it up. And unless, of course, I'm jacking it up, lying underneath there and putting all that on. But I've got enough on my plate to do.
You're too busy. God, that'd be
we'll go down
too
that
dare to do
later,
that.
later, I think. Aye, there's all sorts you can do to protect it.
There's all
So
sorts.
just do it. Just protect it.
I know. Get your car sorted out. So you said you start with your mini detail. That's like your bottom kind of option.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's at the top? What's included in that one?
Well, there's one in between that. You've got the mini detail, the full detail, and then your gloss enhancement machine polish with your ceramic coating. But the full detail is everything that you're getting in your mini detail, but you're now being a hand polish, which I don't actually use like an abrasive polish that cuts, because that's what you'll use to try and remove all your scratches and your swirl marks and marring and all that kind of stuff. Depending on the car, I've actually got a wee gauge that will measure the depth of your paint and your clear coat to tell you how much is left. Then you know where to go with it. So what I'll usually use is what they call a glaze. So if you do find a car, right, that has been polished to within an inch of its life, and you think, can I polish that one more time, especially with a machine, you're just going to burn right through it. You'll use what they call a glaze, which just hides all the imperfections, it fills them, and then I'll put a wax over the top of that.
Right.
And then you'll get your seats and your carpets and that all shampooed. And if it's really bad and needs a deep clean, that's when the steam cleaner comes out. All your chemicals and stuff.
And is that for if you've got like pet hair and like swees?
Aye. Or mould. You should see some of the cars I've had that are
Mold?
caked in mould from the front to the back and the air vents and all that as well.
How have they get mold? What do you mean?
Well, if a motor's got a leak, right, there's moisture getting into the car, but it's now been lying off the road for 6 months because for whatever reason, and when you come back to it after it's been sitting there for 6 months with moisture in it, the mold's just spread all over the whole car, on your seat belts, all over the seats, carpets, the dash, the headliner, everywhere. I've had some right
Who's left
manky
their
ones.
motor for 6 months and then they've wanted it cleaned? That's weird.
Well, maybe somebody it had broke down and it's taken them 6 months to be able to afford to get it fixed.
And they've not looked at it and it's all mouldy.
Yeah, it's just been left. I'll deal with that when I've got them. But they've maybe not even realised that they've got any moisture coming in the car until they come back 6 months later and find it absolutely caked in mould.
That's a steam clean job.
That's an everything job.
That's a hazmat suit job.
Yep, you'll literally see me with a big mask, a big breathing apparatus.
Oh my God. I just thought it'd just be like bit of hair, bit of dog hair.
Oh no.
Couple of
Mould,
stick-ups.
the vomit, you name it.
Do you get a lot of taxi drivers?
Don't actually. Not had a single taxi drivers tend to go to the local car wash.
Yeah, because
they've got a
immediately.
deal and they need it done like that. Or it's 4 o'clock in the morning and somebody's just spewed in their motor, so they'll go and find somewhere that's maybe open 24 hours and get it cleaned up there. I have had guys contact me and say, oh, took it to one of these places and they cleaned it up, but it's soaking because they've not extracted it properly.
And that would cause mould and it'd smell.
If it was just left, but if you're using the car and you've got the air blowing through it all the time, less likely to be mouldy. It'll just be a bit stinky.
That's
a bit stale.
There's honestly so much to it, like that people just don't really know about. So your top one, then I was got the ceramic coating in it.
Yep.
Eventually, you'll do add-on scratches
Eventually,
when you
the
when you
scratches,
feel ready enough to do
and
it.
I'll eventually, hopefully, go and do a course for dent removal and stuff as well.
Dent removal. Mm-hmm.
Paintless dent removal.
What's that?
So if there's a dent in your car, but the paint's not cracked, because if the paint's cracked, then you're gonna need to have a respread.
What if it's just the lacquer?
Well, that's exactly.
Look at me learn.
That's exactly. That's where you just pull the dent out, and you would never know.
You'd never know.
Hopefully.
Right, we're coming to the end of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's flown by. So I want you to hype up a small business or a charity or something, someone that deserves a spotlight, and tell me why.
Well, first and foremost, it's obviously Painting Media.
Stop it!
Giving me a wee hand out with my cringy social media stuff.
Everybody needs to follow you because the videos are class.
Don't hype me up too much.
I'm hyping you up.
I'm still learning that,
up.
remember. This, obviously, I mean, this was a great inspiration for me. Like, I have literally listened to every single episode.
Have you?
Even the
shite ones at the beginning?
Hair and makeup and all that shite. Don't ask me any questions about it, but it was interesting. It was inspirational.
Okay.
Just listening to other people who are self-employed and you know, all the problems that they face and the things that they did just to battle through. And I literally beasted 2 seasons at the Hype Club in, like, I don't know, I think it took me about a month or something like that.
Aww.
So I've been a big fan of this.
That's so nice. But it's good that because you've been really honest tonight about, like, your business starting out and stuff, and it's nice because other people are going to listen to that and go, oh, I can relate to that, because not everything's sunshine and rainbows all the time, and like there is a lot of challenges everybody self-employed
I mean, one piece of
has.
advice I'd give anybody starting any business at all: make sure you've got some savings in the bank, because honestly, I went for being a postie. Started this on the side, but I was starting to get that busy that I was having to say to folk, oh, I can't see you for 3 or 4 weeks. And I thought, well, how am I meant to bring in new customers? Like, they're just going to go, oh, well, I'll just go somewhere else. I'll find somebody else. And it was actually my wife who said, just quit your job. Really? All right. He's like, well, how you might build the business up if you're having to say to folk, I can't see you for 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm in fact going to hype Shona up. She's not a business, but she's definitely...
She's something that deserves the spotlight.
She's the backbone for my business anyway. I honestly, I don't know where I would have been without her. Other friends and family as well have dug deep and helped me out in many ways just to get me up and running and get me seen, and basically doing everything. Yeah. My dad, he keeps me on the road. He's car breakers down in McKean Street, so that's Paisley Car Breakers. So you need anything for your motor, go and see him. He's one of the hardest working guys you'll ever meet in your life. He's the one that's been doing my loft bloody conversion for the last 2 years. Aye. So if you do go down there, he's the grumpy looking one, and he's grumpy probably because he's just so hard worked. But even if you're driving a newer car and like that, he does tyres like brand new, part worn, does the fitting and stuff. So there's always something there for you to go and
whereabouts is that?
See the big man. McKean Street. Down next to where in between the old and new St Mirren football grounds.
Oh aye, I know where you are.
That industrial estate down there.
Nice.
So a big hype up for car breakers.
What's his name?
Well. Ewan.
Hype up Ewan.
Big grumpy Uka.
This has been class. I feel like everybody needs to follow you on your socials.
So there.
That's what we need. But also
But don't expect too much for the videos.
They're class. Also, your Oliver Glasgow, your mobile, you go to somebody's house, place of work.
I was in Sturton last week.
You're in Sturton last week, James's boss. Just like phone you up if you need you, and just you go to them. It's brilliant.
I'll go well at work.
It's good as well because, like, see if I was getting my car done someplace like it was not mobile, and then it was like for 2 hours. What are you gonna do? Hang about for 2 hours?
Exactly.
So mobile works better.
Exactly. That was another one that, like, something I need to remember to say to people: if it is a workplace booking, gonna please speak to your manager before you book it, because that's what happened to me the other day there. big job on. That was £145 worth of work. Had to start at 7 o'clock in the morning because there's only so many spaces to get in. So if I'm not there for them starting, then I'm not going to get parked beside them.
Aye.
So we got in, got them all parked up, started unloading, and the wee woman at the office comes out and goes, son, I'm so sorry, you can't do this today. What? She's like, we've got big lorries coming in, I'm going to need to get all these cars moved. And I'm thinking, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
That's a day's work for me, gone. No. All right, I'm glad it was Friday and it just meant I got a wee earlier finish, but I was banking on that.
Aye.
Finishing off my week with a good day's wage. And I thought, right, I need to remember to say to people, like, run it by the manager or run it by the receptionist, is the car park going to be free on that day? Because I don't want to be showing up, especially 7 o'clock in the morning.
Aye, I know.
And the night before, I was out till 8 o'clock at night. So by the time I'd finished the job, which was in Paisley, drove all the way back up the road to fill my tank and everything for the next morning because I was starting at 7. I was absolutely knackered to then show up and them go, can I do that today?
Oh my God, could they not just moved you someplace else? What was the lorries for?
There wasn't really anywhere else to go. It's a recycling place, Biffa, I think it is.
All right, that's so annoying.
And it's like country roads all around about it, so there really wasn't anywhere else to do it. And that's just things that are unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I had the savvy beforehand. Like I say, I'm still learning every day. Things to preempt.
Yeah, need to preempt things. But
Big time.
it's like a learning curve, innit? Everything is, especially when you're out on your own doing your thing.
Absolutely.
Been class chatting to you.
You too.
Loved it. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much for coming. It was such a fab episode. I loved it. Please follow Kez. Get it's Stellar mobile valeting and detailing. Fucking hell.
Can you believe this girl helps me in my socials?
my head is mush all the time.
You're a busy woman.
Please get in touch with him if you need your car done. It's fucking class, and I mean, he's going to do mine at some point when he's got any time, 'cause he's too busy, and get all my scratches out. And subscribe, share the hype, tell everyone, tell your friends, family, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.